One. Welcome back to another Magi Monday. My name's Andrea Blythe. I'm the traveling Magi of Let Love Rise, here to share some mystical wisdom and guidance for you. And today I am so excited to introduce our very special guest. If there is one person who knows me perhaps better than anybody on the planet, it is the Queen of Clubs that you are about to meet herself, my lifetime bestie, Miss Sari Smith. Welcome to Magi Monday.
Wow, that was a fantastic introduction. I love knowing that I'm the keeper of all of your secrets.
You truly, as I think about this, I'm like, is there anybody? I mean, we met when we were age 10, right?
Yes.
And one of the things where we're going to talk a little bit about both the king and not the king. I keep saying the king. I think I'm so used to saying queen and king together. But we're going to talk about the jack and the queen of clubs today on Magi Monday because I was unable to record an episode while I was traveling in Shasta, which would have been the jack of clubs. And Sari happens to, how many years have you and Jimmy been married? Your Jack of Clubs husband, Leo
I
husband.
know. I'm like, we've been together. Now you're going to make me not be able to do the math. I think is it 33 years, and we're going on 27 years of marriage.
It's so hard when we're just, ourselves like 25, right? I'm like raising my glass to you, girlfriend.
Goblets commence.
Commenting. It's so funny. Because when I was thinking about that, I was like, okay, by default, I have known Jim forever and a day as well. And so
Yes.
his card, right? I mean, I met him 18. So again, just a couple years ago. What I find so special about the two of you, and I've always witnessed it, is you have a really beautiful sun moon connection. And I'm not sure how much I've shared it with you about what that means, but essentially, when you have two cards of any suit, and here we're talking about the Jack and the Queen of Clubs, right next to each other, it is a past life connection, and Sun Moon is one of the most beautifully supportive connections in any relationship, but particularly a marriage. So, married 27 years, been dating since forever and a day, and you in this relationship are the sun, which I do want to talk about because in many quote unquote traditional marriages, it is more the role of the stereotypical man to be in charge, to be the leader, and that was very much the relationship that you saw me have with my ex-husband, where he was the sun and I was the moon. So first and foremost, as a queen, what does it feel like? Does it feel like that you kind of are the director in charge of where you're going to go and what you're doing? Does that resonate, or how?
Uh, I don't think I have it any other way. So I think that from a very young age, I mean, anybody who knows me knows I have been this way. If there was a way that I could be a leader, whether that's in relationships or not, I think I naturally would put myself in that role. And so it doesn't surprise me at all to
Right.
say, like, hey, you're the son. And that's like, yes, absolutely. Knew that then, know that now. And what it means doesn't mean that I'm, the main character. I
Mm.
think that some people might misunderstand what that sun moon relationship is, and you could talk about that a little bit, but it's just that, that driving force, that leading force, and, needing that support, but also being able to give that support. I think that's so important. It's not like
Yeah.
I direct everything and I make all the decisions and I just need 100% support. It absolutely has to be reciprocal. And
Right.
the way that it's reciprocal might be different, different relationships, but it's very, very strong. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to elaborate on that sun moon at all, but I can tell you that,
You,
from my vantage point, I definitely
is it
see
good to be
that.
queen? It's good to be queen. And you
I just don't know any other way. So
I
I,
know.
I would almost apologize, but I'm not going to
Right.
apologize. It's like,
Well, and there are four different queens, right? And your queen is known as the mother of intuition. So a really, really strong intuitive mind that also, I mean, I can see that in terms of like knowing early on where you want to go, what it is you
yep,
want to create. I mean, we can talk about when I met you, as I've been posting a little bit about calling you Fantasia, because I think that that's kind of funny too. These were nicknames that you and I had for each other in what, sixth grade,
Mhm.
around about. Um, but the idea that you as are a very powerful, very connective, intuitive person, and have always felt that. Now you are also a double club.
Double club girl.
Double club. So Sari's other card is a very special semi-fix Ace of Clubs, Two of Hearts card. So part of me also wants to just kind of sort out, well, what's the Ace of Clubs and that new ideas and what's the mother of intuition? But like you are such a billboard of creating the life of your dreams. Everything from your fantasy bedroom as a child to, I mean, what are some of your favorite things that you have just like gotten clear on and we're like, no, this is what it's going to be, or this is what I'm going to
You know,
create?
it's funny. It's great talking to you because you know me and again know all the context for these stories, but I mean, I remember as early as kindergarten when all the other kids would go out to play, they would run to go to play, I would get in line. And the teacher's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm the line leader." Like this is all I want to do. I'm like, whatever they're doing, it looks very immature. I'm not interested in it at all, but I'm here to make sure that this line is going to happen. It's going to be great, and I'm going to lead it. I'm going to lead it in, and then I would ask to do Pledge of Allegiance. Like I was like, I mean, at age 5, so
Right,
it
right,
wasn't.
right, right,
And before
right.
that too, like we would put on, circuses and talent
That's
shows,
what I was thinking of, the
all these things
circuses.
that I was like, no, this show is happening.
And
It
here's what
costs
it
a nickel,
costs too, right? Like you used to charge people for
Oh,
your.
absolutely. It was all about building, revenue and, how can I make the most out of every situation and,
Yeah,
invite people into the show, invite people into my world. So I I guess kind of have always had that sense and
yeah,
I like to play with that. I think that's
yeah.
part of the joy too. And you've seen that
Oh my
throughout
gosh.
our
You're
childhood. Like, yeah, like my
right.
room, or decorating my room or Halloween and you're the magician. Don't forget that.
Oh, yes, I do.
Um,
As the year you
Eve,
were Eve.
the
Yeah, that was so
you know
good. Yeah,
the
so
characters we'd play.
right, right, right. And that's something that I have seen, like from the small little things that you maybe created then to like literally the jobs. Like I'm amazed and floored at how you write yourself a job description, you put into motion like where you're gonna live, the ideal things, and then voila. It's almost that's why I like that idea of Fantasia being
Yeah,
a nickname we had for you because it really is connected to the wand and your word is your wand. The queen, beyond being the mother, oh, do we have?
I do have my own wand.
Of course.
It's within reach, by the way, just in case I need to,
I love that.
just
I
in
love
case.
that. Yeah.
Just things I have in my office,
Just
just in case, just in
know, you
case.
never know. You never know. And what's also really beautiful, that's such an important thing, just showing your wand and your crown and your things like this, is that it's not like a serious business of like, I am going to sit and manifest. It is very joyful, and that's something that you've helped me do too, as I've reshifted and built my life up from the ground. Is like, well, what do you desire? Like, what sounds fun? What do you get excited about? And connecting to that and how that is a real powerful way to pull in what we are desiring for ourselves. So I've always loved the fun that we have, but I do need to talk about the downside, if there is one, to a queen. All right, are you ready?
Which is,
Which is, um, and you probably already kind of feel it, know it. It could be like a little high strung or bossy, right? Like a little bit like let's, if
I've been
people
called a B word before.
a beautiful babe. Yeah. And that just comes from I think when you are a king or a queen of your suit, you have mastery. So you have mastery of the mind. And what differentiates the king and the queen is the queen does her mastery or shows it through her service and how
Mhm.
she gives back into the world, whereas a king shows his mastery through leadership and taking a responsible role. So sometimes when you are a king or a queen, you are very much like your tolerance level is just maybe just, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but like come on people. Let's let's figure this shit out, right?
You can call it ants in your pants.
Yes. Yes. Get this done. Can everybody move as quickly as I want to move right now? And sometimes the answer is emphatically no. We can't all move that fast. So that would be a downside to a queen. I don't know if you
Yeah.
how that
I,
resonates.
I think that, and again, that's what's great about knowing something throughout your life and yet working on it throughout your life
Yes.
is, realizing at that points, how do you use all these gifts for good, right? You don't want to be that impatient, bossy person who thinks they know everything. No one responds to that kind of leadership.
Ex-
So it's thinking about service leadership, which is really
Yes.
that term where how can I be of service to others? How can I use my gifts in a way that helps to unpack what you're thinking, inspire and support your role.
Yes.
So much of my work and what I do in my job, really, that's what it has to do with. It's always working through people. It's
Yeah.
always working through communication, and doing my best to not
Yeah.
be bossy, right? I want to make things happen. I want to move things forward, but I want to do it in a way after listening to you, understanding what your needs are, trying
Mhm.
to see what obstacles you're facing, trying to help, remove
Mhm.
some obstacles for you so we can move forward. So that's the intention. And I think that good intention,
Yes.
right, comes across that even when I don't have the luxury of time and I have to be direct, I'm well intentioned and
Yeah.
people can see that that's what's coming through is yeah, she just wants to remove this obstacle. She's just trying
Yeah.
to make this happen for us.
She's a
And that
good
it's
queen.
collaborative.
She's a good queen. Yes. And that is so true. So much does have to do with our intentionality and where you're coming from and knowing that you do have a responsibility and you're in, the roles that you are now versus from your childhood, you've increased in responsibility, but I love that you are in the world of communication because that is really the suit of the club is all about how we communicate. It is about our mind, it is about our thoughts, our thinking patterns, and the queen has incredible organizational skills that can be taught to other people who maybe don't have that gifting. So, a true master, you are. But I want to also talk about your husband, who happens to be a double. Well, double because he is a Leo, Jack of clubs. And so we talked about the king and the queen, and we often talk about the king and the queen together, but this is slightly different. The Jack is considered the spiritual initiate. So it brings in the spiritual side or into leads into the mastery, but still definitely has a playful characteristic and trait, and it is considered the creative mind card. So, can we talk a little bit about your most creative husband and some of the traits that you see in him between playfulness and creativity?
Absolutely. I used to just say it like the definition of Renaissance man, right? So
It's perfect.
so
Yeah.
many interests and so much knowledge and so much talent. So whether, he wants to create, obviously him making custom bass guitars now in his career, but so many things that he's taken on. He loves to problem solve. He loves to work with his hands. He's extremely artistic and creative. But he also really I'm gonna say jack of all trades, has many, many interests and likes to pursue, loves to talk about history, loves to talk
Yeah.
about politics, loves to talk about just you name it. I actually, he's very difficult to win in Trivial Pursuit
Oh my
because
gosh,
he
one of
just
those. Yeah.
knows like
Yeah.
all geography, like history. It's amazing. So he just knows a lot about many, many things.
Right.
And I think that that's a lot of fun too. And yes, we both definitely have a playful spirit.
Yeah, yeah, and that's one of the things that I see between the two of you, like your thirst for knowledge. You both,
Yes.
anybody who's born a club wants to know, wants to
Yeah,
know.
it's intense. I mean,
Yeah.
got two double clubs here. Like it's no joke.
Well, you went to Greece with your husband a couple weeks before I went to Greece with my daughter, and it was just kind of funny to see the way, like the historical perspective and all the research and the history that, you and I used to geek out over mythology back in the day, but you really brought it back front and center, and you wanted to learn, and he wanted to learn, in this museum and that museum, and whereas my daughter and I, I'm like, let's just go show up and we'll figure it out.
Oh
So
no, we were like, yeah, reading. He's in bed like reading the history of Athens. Like, just because.
right, and it's just so fun, but like, and that's really neat to see how you as a couple can also grow in your knowledge and your desire for one another and pick a place and go and travel together. I think that's awesome. The other thing that I would say about the jack of all trades that I've noticed with Jim is that, it's quite a difference between being a luthier, right? Making custom basses. There was a time where he was doing violins and cellos, but in between those two times, he was a brewmaster, you know? And I just think that that is like a great example of how a Jack can really be very creative, very playful, and just following the passion and not necessarily going to be somebody who needs to be honed in on one area of expertise.
Absolutely. Broad range. And I would even say, like, it's a broad range of interest, but also a pursuit of excellence. Like, it's really
Mm,
not enough for Jim. Like, when he did violins and cellos, he had to work for Roland Feller and work on Strads, like the most famous instruments in the world. When
mm,
he was a brewer, he was winning, medals because, best in the world, best in the country. So
yes.
when he does things, it's not just also like, oh, I have many interests. He has this interesting breadth of knowledge, but also depth of knowledge where he wants he shoots for the stars. Like he
Ab-
wants to go out there and also kind of take his he doesn't have a Fantasia wand, but create what he wants to create too. So I think we both have a lot of joy in imagining, right, what the next great thing could be and making it happen.
Right, right. That's awesome. Do you think that you have that same desire for excellence? I'm wondering if that's a club thing or if it's
I do think the pursuit of excellence, arete was one of my words of the year, which is like literally the embodiment, the Greek embodiment of like the pursuit of excellence. I don't think I pursue it in a perfectionist way. I've seen a lot of people pursue it in a perfectionist way.
yes.
I'm not as interested in perfection at all. I'm interested in a manifestation way. Like,
Yes.
like if I want to create something, and I have a thought that I can, like, I just want to pursue that, whether I do it or not, whether it's like the best or not. If I set my mind to something, it's, I want to see it come to fruition.
And that's huge. Like that's like I mean, that's really helpful. I remember when I was getting back into the workforce as a teacher after being at home with my kids for many years, we had lots of talks about perfectionism. And I think you're one of the first people that really not only showed me that I was struggling with that, but that it's not a healthy way to proceed. It really blocks so much, not just creativity, but it is a stealer of joy. And I was overwhelmed going back into the professional world with three kids at home, transitioning out of that. And and you had me create a good enough list.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
good enough, because good enough, like that's like done, and good enough is where you need to be right now, right? Like
And the beauty is good enough doesn't mean I didn't make my excellence marks. Good enough is what moves things forward.
exactly.
Good enough means I did something that's progressing. You're
Hmm.
still going to the ultimate goal. It's still going to be great,
Hmm.
but you have to give yourself permission to celebrate all the tiny wins that it takes to get there and not put all the pressure that it all has to happen at once.
Yes. I mean, it's the pressure. It's the pressure cooker, people.
Yeah.
All right, I want to be respectful of your time, Queen. I know you have many busy things to do, but before we go, I want to run some famous Queen of Clubs. By the way, I'm going to put the birthdays. There's a birthday for all the Jack of Clubs and all of the Queen of Clubs. It'll be in the description for this episode. So look them up, but they have one every month of the year. So we're not going to go through them right now. You could just read them below. But when I was looking at some of the famous Queen of Clubs, Cher just jumped out off of the list as a Queen of Clubs. Um, let's see who else we got here. We've got Will Ferrell as a Queen of Clubs. It's just always Johnny Cash. Uh, Gosh, I really don't recognize a lot. Well, Jack Nicholson.
Wow, this is a very eclectic club.
There are so many people in here that like you could usually find like a similarity or something that connects them all, but those are some of the queens. And let's look at and then Tom Selleck just jumped out as a jack of clubs. Ben Affleck. Uh, let's see who are some other. Oh, Sarah Jessica Parker. She is a jack of clubs. Love my Carrie Bradshaw. Joan Cusack, Aretha Franklin, Elton John, Jack of Clubs, and the one and only Oprah Winfrey. Jack, a Jack of Clubs. I'm kind of surprised by that. I would have thought, I mean, she's very creative as 129. So what's her other birthday? Aquarius, Four of Hearts. Yeah, maybe. Interesting. So any thoughts on any of those? Did they spur any memories, ideas, thoughts? I don't know. It's kind of
No, I mean, no. I was
no.
like, okay, Johnny Cash and I both like to wear black.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's about it. Yeah, there's a lot on the Queen of Clubs list that I just don't know. So, anyhow, there are quite a few. There are birthdays from January to December for both of these cards. If you want to find out more about these cards, about your personal cards, you can leave a comment below. But I just want to thank you, Sari, for taking some time to come and share some of what it's like to be queen, what it is like to be also the sun in a relationship and to have a beautiful sun moon relationship with a very creative mind. And I just love you both.
Oh, we love you too. Thank you so much for having me.
Is there anything that the queen would like the world of the Magi, the growing world of the Magi, to know about intuition and manifestation or communication, your area of expertise or knowledge, like it's all the mind stuff that you would like to leave our audience with today.
Sure. I guess I would probably say it doesn't help to spend much time on fear. Being fearless doesn't mean fear's not there. Spend your time on what you want to see happen. And it's amazing. Fear kind of tends to dissolve when you're really focused on what you want and when you're focused on the love, when you're focused on good things.
Mm.
Um, the things that just hold you back. You're not a small person. You're not meant to be small. We're all in some ways meant to be queens. So,
Oh.
embrace who you are, embrace what you have, and go out the world and go get it.
Love it. Spoken like a queen. So tell fear to get in the back seat. You're in charge now. And yeah, I think it really is important to remember to keep our mind lifted on what we are desiring and all the fear that comes up. Just have a little chat with it, tell it to simmer down. You're expanding, you're growing, you've got direction, you've got dreams, and they've got your name on it. So, if you're wanting to run a circus at age 6, you want to be the line leader, you want to you want to create your ideal dream job as I have watched you do again and again. The power of the mind is yours. And yeah, we all have that, but particularly when you have the Queen of Clubs in your roadmap, be on the lookout because she and her wisdom is here to amplify your manifestation, your organization of thought, your clarity, your desire for knowledge. And it's a good card to know about. And that Jack, wants to remind you to go have some fun, be creative, creativity for creativity's sake, and enjoy the journey, as we say here at Let Love Rise. Enjoy the journey.
I love it. I love it. Mwah.
Right.
All the best.
Thank you, my friend. And see you all back here next week, where we are inviting in some masters of the mind, some kings of clubs to wrap out this conversation about the suit of the clubs this summer season. Until then, here's to love and joy in the journey. Bye.